Hi everyone, welcome back to Nurturing Neurodiversity. Bit of a special video today. It is my first ever collaboration. Okay, so I know that many of you are in the limbo stage, probably worrying about autism, probably getting terrified by the god-awful videos on autism that are floating about on YouTube. If that's the story you're living right now, I want you to know that I lived it too. Every damn day for a good 18 months before I heard all the messages I needed to hear to help me find acceptance and allow me to fully appreciate and celebrate my son Dexter for the wonderful being he is. A bit of background for those of you who are new here. My son is 4 now. He was diagnosed with autism around his 3rd birthday, which was almost exactly 2 years after we started noticing autistic traits in him. If I could go back to that emotionally draining, incredibly stressful first few months of noticing my son was developing differently, what would I say? Honestly, I'd probably fill an entire day giving advice to my former self. But I did narrow it down to these 3 things. So number 1, I would tell myself to research neurodiversity as a concept. I first came across the term neurodiversity through a YouTube video actually, in which an educational psychologist who worked with children with autism and ADHD was talking about it. And honestly, that moment, that second that I clicked play, it changed my life completely. It immediately lifted the black cloud that I'd been carrying around over my head for a long time, and it connected me to a network of people who not only wanted to help, but who truly appreciated and valued my son's unique brain wiring, and understood the strengths that I'd been trying to tell people they had all along. So number 2, I would tell myself that no professional knows Dexter better than you do. Professional opinions around autism are often just that. They vary hugely from professional to professional. So I would tell myself to have the confidence to stand up for my son when professionals make those assumptions about his capability. And I would also say that there is a difference between what Dexter can do and what he is willing to demonstrate that he can do. And that only I have the insight to differentiate those 2 things. And number 3, I would tell myself, I would say, Faye, your future happiness does not rely on the amount of progress that Dexter makes. I know you feel like it does, but don't pin everything on that. Quit the, I'll be happy if he's talking by 4. I would say that actually Dexter will always be different, and you will only truly be happy when you learn to live in the present and really appreciate what you have right now, without comparing what you have to what others have. But these are just my pieces of advice to myself. I'm just one person, so I thought, I wonder what other people would say to themselves if they could go back. Other people that have gone through the diagnostic process, that have been through that limbo phase. I reached out in real life, I reached out on my Instagram and on our Facebook group, and a handful of the most amazing mothers I have ever met got in touch and wanted to offer you their messages of hope too. So here's who they are, and here's what they had to say.
Hi, my name's Ashley. I started noticing very early that Nicholas was developing differently.
Hello, my name's Karen. I've got a little boy who is 4.5. He was diagnosed with autism when he was 2 years and 8 months old.
My name is Caitlyn. I am the mother of 3 boys, and Owen, my 3-year-old, he was diagnosed with autism.
My name's Carrie. I'm a mum to a little boy called Albie who is 4 years old. He started showing signs of a neurological difference at around 15-16 months.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. I am mama to Luke. We received our autism diagnosis in December of 2019.
I'm Steph. Finn was diagnosed with autism at the end of October when he was 31 months old. I first started noticing differences in his development around 15 months.
I'm Amanda Martin. I have a just over 2-year-old son. He was 18 months when his pediatrician first said that he may or may not have autism.
My name is Sophie and I have a 5.5-year-old little boy who was diagnosed with autism with regression and global developmental delay.
Hi, my name's Katy and I have a 4-year-old son called Toby. When we started our journey with him, I felt so many different things, but mainly to begin with I felt sad. I felt confused. Why was he missing his milestones? What does it mean?
I would lay in bed and I would just cry. And I would be up all night on my phone, frantically Googling everything. I just remember feeling so alone.
I didn't know anyone in a sort of similar situation, so you feel quite isolated. I was uncertain of the future. It's common nature, I think, for people to try to reassure you, but you know best as mum, 100%.
Don't listen to what others have to say. I went back and forth a lot. Is something wrong, or am I just nitpicking my child? It was also stemming from pediatricians, family members, friends, who told me, you've only had girls, he's a boy. They're slower, they don't develop the same way. But I would reassure myself, this is your child, and you know him best.
I would tell myself that my child will change and will progress. It's very hard to see beyond where you are right now, especially if your child is having behaviours that are difficult to manage and very upsetting. But it will happen, they will change and they will progress. And changes can be so subtle that you don't even see them initially.
Just focus on all of the amazing things that he is doing and just the beautiful, unique brain that he does have.
Don't focus on the things that he's not doing or the milestones that he's missing. He has done so many things that a year ago I maybe would have dreaded would never happen. So just, understand that your child is going to follow their own timeline.
He's gonna live his life, and the only thing that matters is his happiness.
The pre-diagnosis stage was the hardest stage, no questions. It will get easier to deal with.
I obsessively worried about his future, and I just want to go back and say, stop it. Stop, he's gonna be okay.
Even after a diagnosis, I walked out of there with the same little boy as I walked in there with. Here we are at 3 years old, nonverbal, but it's okay. We're happy, we're healthy, we're starting to communicate in other ways.
Everything is okay and Luke is perfect just the way that he is.
Everything that you've learned through a lifetime of education and experience won't compare in any way to what that little boy tells you about life, yourself, other people, the world, every single day.
I would stop blaming myself all the time. I always thought it was something I did or didn't do. Did I not play with him enough? Was I not talking to him enough? Your child will develop at their own pace. It is nothing that you did or didn't do to cause this.
I would go back and tell myself at the beginning to just relax and not worry so much about one word.
I would give myself a hug. I would tell myself that it's going to be okay and to not waste any time trying to figure out the why, the outcomes, because there are questions that we can't answer. And I wish I didn't spend from birth until 2 years of age just racking my brain and beating myself up and not focusing on the little things that are just the most amazing and most important parts.
It is absolutely 100% okay to say no to any sort of social event that you think is going to be really difficult for your child. Friends and family should understand. Don't make excuses. Just say to them, you know what? My child's going to find that really hard. It's not a situation that either of us are going to want to be in, so we're not coming. That is okay. You don't have to go.
Start looking to autistic adults. Look at the things that they're accomplishing, the community that they have built for themselves for support. Your child will someday be an autistic adult, and you need to fill yourself with all of the positivity and hope that your child will succeed and will live a happy and fulfilled life.
Love your child. Enjoy your child.
Autism is not something that is going to change your child or change the way you feel about them or who they are as a person.
Our children are such a blessing. I wish I hadn't wasted so much time, looking for signs of autism. I wish I just enjoyed him.
Having a good support network is absolutely key, and just having somebody at the end of the phone that you can text or ring and just say, you know what, today's been hard, I'm struggling, it means the world.
Find a group of people, a group of mums going through the same thing with children the same age. I found it quite early on and it has changed my life. I love them and speak to them every day. We have bonded and I've learned so much from them.
Find a neurodiversity, autism-friendly community to be a part of. That's been the biggest source of relief for me in this whole journey, was finding Faye's channel and her videos and joining her Facebook group.
You're not alone. You have a whole community of parents around the world who are in your situation.
Albie is exactly who he's supposed to be. He is an incredible and beautiful human, and see the beauty in the difference. Albie finds joy and fascination in everyday things that we don't even see. He can watch a flag flapping in the wind for ages and be so excited by it. And I find that myself so fascinating and beautiful. So just appreciate your child for exactly who they are. They aren't going to fit into the social norms and the social expectations, but that's okay.
Powerful, powerful messages. If you are querying autism in your child, if you are scared of the future, if you feel lonely, isolated, helpless, please believe us, all of us, every mother that was featured in this video, when we say, regardless of the outcome, it will be okay. I promise you, it will be okay. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you are interested in being part of a video like this in the future, or if you just want to follow our journey, please follow us on Instagram. And if you want to follow or connect with any of the mothers you've seen in this video, I will post some of their pages below too. Huge thank you to everybody who took part. I appreciate it so much more than you know, and hopefully it has helped somebody out there as well.